welcome back for another video. So after numerous requests, I'm going to be doing a TinkerCAD tutorial. Okay, so I just want to clarify before we get into the video that this is not the secret project that I will be uploading soon. I will tell you which project that is. It will be shown on the thumbnail and in the title that is the secret project. So from now on, any videos I upload will not be the secret project currently, but that will be coming soon, so enjoy. So, from the very scratch. So first, you want to go to tinkercad.com/dashboard, and it'll ask you to sign in if you're not already signed in, and if you don't have an account, you can just click sign in with Google, and I believe it will create an account for you. Otherwise, you can click join now, which will be at the top right on this dashboard. After that, you'll be shown this dashboard screen, and you can preview different designs right here. These are different things that we're not going to be covering right now. So we're going to be covering 3 designs with TinkerCAD right now. So you're just going to see all your different designs right here. As you can see, this is one of my tutorials. You can click Tinker this, and that will edit it, basically. So you can go in and to the editor and change that design. So basically for this one, we're going to be creating a design from scratch and teaching all that stuff. So first we're going to create a new design. So this will take a second to load. Wait for this to load. Takes a couple seconds. I'll just edit this. Okay, here we are. This is what you'll see when you first get into the TinkerCAD editor. This is our work plane. This is our work plane, and we have this grid here. So the first thing you probably want to do when making these kind of things is click up here in the top left corner, and then you can name your design. So for this one, I'll be doing TinkerCAD Add Tutorial. So first, I'm going to teach the hotkeys. So to pan around the screen, you want to use you want to hold down right click on your mouse or touchpad, whichever you're using. And then if you scroll in with the mouse cursor, you can scroll in and scroll out. Use the left click, hold down left click to open a select box. That will be helpful later on. So right now, you can just learn to move around, hover around the entire page. Up here, you'll see the view cube, and you can hold down with left click on the view cube and turn the plane. So if we click front, this is the front, this is the top, right here, and you can just click on the highlighted blue areas, and it'll take you to that zone. So you can turn this, or you can just have it centered. So I'll just keep it right now in the top front middle zone. Okay, so here you have lots of different things. You have basic shapes, you have all these other things too, but we're just going to cover basic shapes today. So the main shapes that you probably are going to be using are possibly the scribble, the text, the square, the cylinder, and the sphere. You might use some of these other ones for different projects, but usually I'd say that you'd use these mainly. You also have, so let's just use a box to start. So you just click on the box, and then it'll summon in a box into the work plane, as you can see here. Now that you have your box, you can move it by holding left click, or you can use these arrows on the box right here to move it up and down, and you can rotate it using these little arrows. It'll show you the degree symbol. If you want to, you can left click again on this and type in a number. So I'll just set that to 0 now. Press enter, and it's back to the starting position. You'll also be able to scale the box with left click like this by holding down this. This will scale both the axes, and this will just scale the ones in the middle like that. Next, you'll see up here in the property tabs of the box, you'll see solid or hole. So hole is an important way to de-extrude/remove parts of different objects. So let's say that we want this to have like a wedge, and we don't want to use this wedge for some reason. So we'll bring in another box. You can rotate it like so. Let's do -50 degrees. And then you can drag this into the box or anything else, and you want to turn this into a hole. After you turn it into a hole, it'll be all grayed out and transparent. Then you can drag it into any object you want, like so, and you can edit it and still change it exactly the same as if it were just a normal solid object. So as you can see, it's not really doing anything right now. It's just kind of sitting there. But if you want to, you'll be able to remove all of the grayed out zone from the object. So the way you want to do this is you want to hold down Shift, click on the box as so, make sure it's selected, and then click the other object that you want to cut out. And then up here, you'll see Group, or just Control G as a hotkey. Click Control G, it'll load for a second, and then it'll cut out the shape of the hole out of the object. So now you have this cut up cube. So we're just going to delete this. This is another important one. You have text. If you just click text down here, it'll load in text. You can put in any word you want in the text property. You can change the font right here if this will load. Serif, let's say we want serif, it'll look like that. A useful thing you can use with text if you want to, let's say you want to make a keychain. So this will be the main part of the tutorial today. So you want a keychain like this. Let's say you don't really want the text to be popping out of the keychain per se, but you want it to be engraved. So what you can do is drag it over, move it up a little bit since we don't want it to be cutting down fully into the shape, and you want to change this to a hole. So now with the hole, we're going to hold Shift, click the object, and then we're going to Control G, group it, and now wait for a second for this to load. It'll take a second, and bam, you have it engraved into this cube. So another thing I forgot to mention, if you want to pan like this instead of just rotating the camera, you can hold down middle mouse click like this. Okay, so let's continue. So now that you have this engraved, you can see that if you were to 3D print this, if you want to, it would be this box, and then you'd have the text engraved like this. So let's say you want to add like a single pin over here to hold it on a keychain. You'd add a circle like so, drag it down, and then add another circle, same place, like so, and shrink it down, and make sure that these are equal measurements. Put this in the middle. This isn't going to be very perfect, the centering right now, but hold down Shift, click those, and then if you want to center it, up here you'll see a line, or just press L, and then you'll see these different buttons up here. So if you want to align it on this axis here, it's kind of hard to explain, but I'll try to explain. You can align it vertically, horizontally. Oop, let me do that. You can align it vertically, horizontally, any way you want. From the left side to the right side, just the middle, and we're going to align it just in the very middle. So I would recommend messing around with this and just testing it out. So right now we're just going to do this. We're going to make this a hole like so. We're going to hold Shift and select the other object. We're going to group them together. Wait for a second of loading, and like that now you have a ring. So we can now select this other object with Shift again, and we can use a line to then set the keychain up here if we want it to. So then after we select a line like that, we're going to go to the vertical line and set it down there. So now it looks like this. And then you can use the combine feature again to group together. You can use the group object to somewhat like bend objects into each other. So let me show you what I mean. So you can hold Shift and you can click the group button again up here, like so, and these shapes will now be a single shape. So you can move this around and it'll be a single object right now. This circle is now inside of the keychain. You can also click on the solid property, and you can change the coloration, and yeah, you can select any color you want. That's the main thing you can do with this zone. You can make it multicolor or just change it. Let's make it blue for this. And then let's say you want like an ice cream cone on the edge, because why not? You could do this, add a half sphere like so, and then a cone. So then you'd rotate the cone like we learned to 180 degrees. And then we want this to be on the keychain, so we'd have to tilt it 90 degrees. Wait, I'm just gonna move over here to change the rotation to 90 degrees. Oops. Okay, you have the rotation there. And I don't believe I've got fully 90 degrees, but that's okay. You can just use the line and align it together. Oops. Learning with you guys, I guess. Okay, let's move this back down. Deselect, and then you can just move it back down. Best thing is, you can just keep messing it up, and nothing's gonna happen. You can just, at any point, reset. You can't mess it up. Just play around and enjoy the editor and learn. So, don't be worried to try anything. Just test it, and if it doesn't work, that's okay. You can just try again. That's the beauty of 3D modeling. You can't mess it up, really. If something goes wrong, you can just do it again. It's not permanent, any damage. Let's do this. So as you can see, we've aligned this together. And then let's make this a cone, and we can have some vanilla ice cream. So now that we've had this, we can group these together. And you can select more than 2 objects, and you can group them all together at the same time. And since I don't really like this, we're gonna go to multicolor, and bam, you're done. So you can mess around with this. You can click up here and change it from just normal 3D modeling into Legos, or you can turn it into Minecraft. This will take a second to load, so I'll just show you Legos if this will load. It's not seeming like it wants to load. Okay, there we go. Wait, oh no. Okay. Come on, wait. Okay, it finally loaded. So this is like Minecraft, for example. It doesn't look perfect since there's no text, but it looks kind of cool, and it'll show you like a basis of like what types of like blocks you can use to try to make this. So again, it doesn't look perfect, but it is really cool. So if we try to do this in Lego, wait for a second for it to load. So if you don't want to 3D print it or anything, you can use the Lego version and just wait for this to load again. It'll take some time for it to change and edit everything. But if you don't want to 3D print anything, or you don't have a 3D printer, you'll be able to just build this out of Lego. If this will load. You can just test that yourself, I believe. Will it load? Wait, we got the loading bar. Nope, doesn't seem like it wants to load for me today. Oof. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, guys. Making basic TinkerCAD things. You can mess around, enjoy it, play with it, test anything you want. I'm also going to just say that down here you can turn off snap grid, so it'll just be very smooth, the movement. I'd recommend some snap grid, so that basically just makes it clicky, kind of. So that's easier for movement and editing, but if you don't want it, you can turn it off. You can also edit the grid and change the measurement type. If you want inches, you can change the size of this, the width and the length. And if you want to 3D print, you can export over here and export it as an STL or an OBJ, and then put it through your slicer. Yeah, I can make another tutorial later on slicers. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!